Hi, it's Louise Tanner-Stokes from the Anti-Dieting Revolution. And this week I wanted to talk about how to break free from yo-yo dieting once and for all and to lose weight for life. Okay, so rather than just going on a diet, losing the weight, and then putting it all back on again and building up a really crappy relationship with food, we're going to break free from yo-yo dieting once and for all. So this is for you if you just have a really shitty relationship with food where you've jumped from diet to diet. You're now bigger than when you first started, and you're maybe thinking about going on another diet because you just think I need to lose the weight. Honestly, if this is you, if you've done all the diets and you're bigger than when you first started and you wish you'd never started dieting in the first place, going on another diet is the worst idea ever. It's just going to exacerbate that shitty relationship with food. You're going to get more obsessed with food. You're going to end up with more issues around binge eating and comfort eating. It's time to ditch all that dieting once and for all. And instead, love yourself first. Try and accept yourself as you are. And then instead of focusing on the number on the scales, focus on doing things to help yourself, to look after yourself. So doing things that are going to actually make you feel well rather than doing it to get the results. So, okay, if that sounds good to you, let me share with you some tips then for breaking free from yo-yo dieting once and for all and how you can lose weight for life. Okay, so the first step is making this decision that you're never going to go on a diet ever again. So it's about making a promise to yourself that you're going to stop dieting. You're not going to go on a diet. Even if you're looking at making changes, you're looking at eating better or exercising more, you're going to ditch all that dieting language where you talk about, I'm trying to be good, or I'm dieting at the moment, I'm slimming at the moment, and forget this whole idea of going on a diet. It's kind of like going on a bus. At some point you get off, don't you? So instead of thinking about doing something in the short term, think about making changes that you can do forever. So focus on those forever habits. Okay, so it's about habits rather than following a plan. So start with that decision. Never gonna go on a diet ever again. We're not slimming, we're not dieting. You're just looking at building healthy habits for life. Okay. And then step 2 is making sure you actually want to change. Okay, so first of all, you need to be clear on your goal. So what is it that you're aiming for? Where is it that you want to be? Is it about your weight? Is it about your dress size? Is it actually about how you feel about yourself? Is it about how you feel about your eating habits? How will you know when you get there? How will you know that you've reached your goal? What is it that you actually want to achieve? Okay, and when you know what you want to achieve, it's asking yourself, do you really want to be there? Okay, do you actually want to be there? Does it actually is it actually important to you? And is it realistic for you to be there? So if you've got an idea of getting into a certain dress size, for example, but you've never been that dress size before, is that actually realistic for you to get there? Or maybe you've been that dress size before, but the way that the way that you were living, the habits that you were following back then were just not realistic. Maybe you were skipping meals and exercising way too much, and you know that that's just not possible these days. I mean, it's not healthy. It's not going to fit in with your lifestyle. Think about what you'd need to do to get there, and is that really realistic within your current lifestyle? Will it fit in with your life as it is now? Do you really want to do those things? So think about, you might have a load of changes that you think you need to make to your eating habits, your exercising habits, but do you really want to make those changes? Okay, because if you don't, it's just If you don't want to get there, if your goal's not important to you, if you really don't want to make those changes, it's always going to be an uphill struggle. And I give you permission to just not do it if you really don't want to, okay? But if you do want to change, step 3 is about keeping it simple, okay? So first of all, you need to get clear on what are your normal day-to-day habits. So what is it you're doing day to day? How do you eat normally? How do you exercise normally? What's normal for you? And then think about those habits and think about how you could tweak those habits. Because really small changes, little adjustments to what you do normally can make a really big difference in the long term. You don't need to be following some big drastic plan. You don't need to be changing everything. You might have a whole, like I said before, you might have a whole list of changes that you think you need to make, but you don't need to do all of it. You don't need to change everything. Just tweak it. Pick 1 or 2 things. Think about what is the first step for you, okay? What is your first step, the first change that you could make that would make a big enough difference? But is it easy, okay? How could you make it easy for yourself to build that habit? How could you make it easy for yourself to fit it in? Or is there something else you need to do instead? You know, think about if you can make it easy for yourself, you're more likely to build it up as a habit for life, okay? And it takes practice. So you've got to keep doing this, making this change over and over again before it becomes a new habit. You need to be ready for that. You need to be prepared for to practice that. So it's got to be something that you want to do, something that's easy for you. So small enough that it's easy, but big enough it's going to make a change. It's significant, it's going to actually make a difference, okay? So what is your first step? And make sure it's nice and simple and easy. And then step 4, you've got to give it time, okay? I know when you've done diets before, you've had fast results, you've lost weight fast, but then you've put it all back on again because you're making too many changes, you're changing too much, too quickly, and it's just not sustainable, okay? When you're doing it my way, when you're breaking free from yo-yo dieting, and you want to make changes to eat better, to exercise regularly, and feel good, it's about being prepared for the long-term effort, okay? So it's about doing it forever, doing it for life, but also recognizing that slip-ups, that little relapse, is a normal part of changing habits, okay? It's just normal, it's inevitable. It's about recognizing when it's happening and looking at how you can get yourself back on track as soon as possible. And this is something that I do work on with my with one-to-one clients because, like I said, it's just normal. It's part of making changes. So again, it comes back to, you know, it's important that you want to make those changes. And it's about recognizing that it's building those habits, and it takes time to build new habits. You need to be patient, you know, rather than focusing on the results, focus on the habits, because it's going to take time, and you're going to need to persevere when things get tough, because they will get tough. And sometimes it can help to have a buddy or someone to support you, whether it's a mentor or a coach, or just somebody that you have a chat with that you can trust, that won't be saying, oh, follow this latest diet, you know. But give it time, okay? Give it time, be patient. And if you're not sure what tweaks to make, then check out my super simple guide to making healthy eating easy. You can download that for free. I'll put the link in the description of this video. I'll put the information in the main blog post. Have a look at what I recommend, and just have a think about, is there anything that stands out compared to what you're doing? So that the biggest thing that stands out to you, that would be probably your first step. That's the first change for you, the first step for you to make. That's where you start. That's your first tweak. So have a go. And obviously I'm here if you need help. But like I said, it's about making a promise to yourself, making a decision that you're never going to go on a diet ever again. It's about being kind to yourself, making sure that you actually want to make those changes. Keep it simple and give it time, because it does take time. But you can do it. You can ditch dieting forever because you absolutely deserve better. Take care and I'll see you soon.